Well, hi, folks, and welcome to another live webinar. Today, we're going to talk about how to inspire client commitment from those who are potentially looking to join with you. And it's really about selling with integrity. Now, before we get to that, I know some of you don't know me, so I'm going to share a little bit about myself just so that you can get an understanding of why I do what I do now and why I'm so passionate about it. So my journey through the health and fitness career all started back in 1996 when I started my sports science degree. Absolutely loved it. And then it went on to do biomechanics and exercise physiology with some nutritional elements thrown in as well, which was great. And completed that in 2000, which was for me a big turning point. I was a mature age student. I'd worked in hospitality and traveled all around the world before that. Really, surfing was my big passion, but I knew I wanted to do something which was more meaningful in terms of a career. I was very good at hospitality, but it's not something that I wanted to do forever. So after I completed my degree, and even whilst I was doing that, I got my level one, level two sports trainers. Had my massage certificates as well. So I was already working, sort of doing little bits and pieces. And then when I completed university, I then went to the Globo Gym. And some of you might be familiar with this sort of pathway. The Fremantle Leisure Centre is what it's called. It's not a massive facility like some, but it's certainly, a regular gym membership type base with very little personal training. But you know what? I loved it. Jumping up in the morning at 4:30 to open up at 5:15. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was the best thing ever. I was so excited to be working in that environment. And that continued for probably a year. And then the cracks started to appear for me. I realized that I was just a cog in the machine, if you liked. And to be honest, I was one of the few people there who was really committed. A lot of the other trainers, it was a bit of a stopgap for them to just get some money in a part-time job to go and do something what they really wanted to do. But for me, I wanted it to be my career. So a bit disillusioned, I should say, for really the last half of that year, and then moving into my second year there. And that's when I realized it just wasn't for me. They weren't delivering the level of uh, really service and care for the clients. And I knew the clients could get better results if they were given much better programs, if they had better follow-up, and so on. So it was in 2001 that I decided to open my own P2 studio, Fit for Health. I rented a very small space and I was doing massage in there at the same time. I really only had a handful of clients, and but I was excited. It was great. It was exciting. Unfortunately, that space very quickly became not available due to the woman who was really working it full time. So I had to find another one. I took an even bigger leap of faith and got my own standalone facility on Ray Avenue in Fremantle. And I thought I'd made it. I thought, yes, this is me. I couldn't be happier. I had some equipment and I built it out nicely, and had little things that I thought really made it much more interesting. The motivational pictures, the music, etc. But I didn't have enough clients because you know what I didn't learn in 4 years of a degree and postgraduate studies? I didn't learn about marketing. I didn't learn about sales, and I didn't learn about business management. So I came into it with a ton of enthusiasm and some experience, but no real skills when it came to how to get clients. And I really struggled with that for a few years and dabbled on and off with MLM companies, trying to learn more personal development type things, which I really valued and loved. But I was trying to find ways in which I could do things better. Joined a national marketing group, which cost me 25,000 a year at the time. And I got a lot out of it, but it wasn't industry specific. It was really for anyone out there. So in that group, there was hairdressers, there was mechanics, there was podiatrists there was such a wide range of people. So I had to try to take the information from these weekends away and then apply it into my business. And it was really very difficult. So I was passionate at that stage about being able to make a difference. And I did have some big success. I wrote a book in 2002 called Don't Diet, Fat Loss and Fitness the Isaac Way. And I got onto Today Tonight a few times, which was great. We sold over 10,000 copies of the book. We were in Dimmicks and Angus and Robinson as their a bestseller there for a few weeks, which is exciting. Then 2006, I did a spin-off called The Biggest Winner. So it was really trying to dispel the myths of the biggest loser, if you like. And it was a 50 grand challenge, and it was really amazing. The winner lost just under 50 kilos over a 6-month period, but it was sustainable, and a bunch of other amazing results from the clients there, which was great. Now, all of this was really very good, but it didn't translate into my business exploding because, again, I didn't know about things like funnels and follow-up and systems and tools, and even some of the software that would have supported the growth and development of Fit for Health, which is the name of my business. And it was really at this point, as I said, that I joined that marketing company, that there must be a better way of doing this. And I learned a lot, but it was still really challenging. Then I met my future business partner, Andre Sauer, and we decided that we wanted to support the industry because even though I'd figured a fair few things out by that stage and my business was going well, there were so many others out there that I could see were struggling. Passionate trainers and great expertise, really good at their jobs, but they couldn't translate it into their own business because they didn't have those other fundamental skills, which are so important. So we started our own company called Fit for Profit, and we started coaching others. Now, my business was still running at that stage. I had a manager on board, so I really wasn't very hands-on at all in the business anymore. I certainly wasn't doing any of the coaching. And that continued until I sold it in 2010, because I was more passionate about helping others to be able to create not only the business, but the lifestyle that they wanted to. So over the last 15 years, really 17 years, because we started in 2008. That's what I've been focused on. Moved to the US to hone my skills for 3.5 years, between 2014 and 18. And then for the last 6 years, I've been living here with my wife and my 2 kids, Daniel and Lila, and my wife, Alyssa, in Bali, Indonesia. And we've got incredible lifestyle here, which we thoroughly enjoy. But nothing's changed for me. I'm still so passionate about helping people to be able to help more people in our industry. And what I see, and what's so relevant to today's topic and conversation, is that we really struggle with sales. Now, this is not just personal trainers, but yoga instructors, Pilates instructors, masseurs, any of those allied health industries. Selling is normally not something that comes naturally to most people. And to be honest, people can see it as a bit of a bugbear, a bit of a, look, it's a necessary evil, right? They don't like doing it, but they know they need to do it. And so they don't often approach it the right way. They don't end up with really committed clients, because that's what a sales process should be. Now, how do we make sure that where people are going to buy from you? Well, and please write these 3 things down. It's what I call the know, like, and trust. Okay, they have to feel like they know you. They certainly need to like you, and they need to know that they can trust you. And it's only at that point that they will then be willing to make a decision about working with you or not. So know, like, and trust are absolutely critical to establish first. And look, in Rami Business Consulting, the business that I run now, that's exactly what we do too. It's what I'm doing right now. It's why I shared that story with you, so that you know a bit more about my journey and you get to know me a little bit more. That's really important when it comes to creating not only the right sales process and experience for you, but also for the client, but also for setting yourself up for success, so that you don't attract those who are not going to be a good fit. You really want to make sure that you fill your business with committed and compliant clients. Because believe you me, and I know a lot of you watching this who have got even 6 months experience in the industry, in any of those modalities I talked about earlier, you'll know that having the wrong type of clients is incredibly frustrating. They miss sessions, they don't follow the nutrition, they don't put in a big effort, there's always excuses or whatever it might be. And they therefore don't get results. And this can be a really challenging one to deal with, because clearly That's what we're all passionate about, right? That's what we got into this amazing industry for, because we want to help people. We want to help to change